Welcome back to Comics, the podcast where me and my mom look at 2 comic books from our collection. And this is part 2 of our Christmas Spectacular series. And this time we're starting with a DC comic, The Brave and the Bold, 184, The Batman's Last Christmas. In the first part of our Christmas Spectacular, we saw the Superman's Last Christmas with
now the Batman.
Parasite, and now Batman has had enough. My parents deserve to die, and the Batman must die as well.
Doesn't he look like a brat? Mm-hmm. Just having
a different kind
tantrum.
of Yuletide tale.
A different kind of Yuletide tantrum.
So this is starring Batman and the Huntress. And in this version of continuity, the Huntress is from Earth 2. So this takes place in Earth 1 and with our regular Batman. But she came to visit just for the holidays. We'll see why. So at the Gotham Children's Home, we have some orphans enjoying some toys, but they've seen better days. The doll's missing an eye. When the guardian hears a tap-tap. Yeah, he's missing a hand, too. You can jab people with that. Protect your rations at the orphanage. But who other than Batman would leave a nice sack of new toys for the kids? Thank you, she says, and he's casting his... I don't know how he manages to cast that shadow.
He's up there getting the light just right.
Wait a minute. Okay. Look now. Are you looking? It's really cool. Maybe you should get in out of the cold, Commissioner. Doesn't look like he's coming, sir. He'll come, Haggerty. He always comes. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Commissioner. Sometimes I feel you'll always be here when I arrive. Not much longer, Batman. Now that Hamilton Hills won the mayoral election, he'll see to that. I know he's threatened to get rid of you when he takes office, sir, but I wouldn't worry. You've outlived hostile administrations before, and I know you'll do it again. I think I neglected to say this is from 1982, March of 1982, and I think we've seen part of this plot of this mayoral candidate going after commissioner.
Well, like he says, you've outlived...
Yeah, probably. Hostile. Yeah, every couple of years they bring in a new mayor that wants to shake things up.
Yep.
So, anyway, he says, thank you, Batman. I needed to know that. No, Commissioner, you just needed to hear it again. Now, what else can I do for you? It's the mob, old friend. One of the local bosses, Spurs Sanders, has just found the records his accountant was going to turn over to us. The grapevine says one of Sanders' gun cells has picked up the records to return them to Spurs.
Ooh.
We want those records, Batman, but Sanders' man could be anywhere in 6 square blocks where my men chased him before losing him. Can you help us, Batman? So this is where our criminal Santa trope makes its appearance. We have this very same gun cell is disguised as old Saint Nick here. He's probably wearing some sort of disguise and carrying the records in something. Bingo. What if it wasn't, though?
I know.
I mean, that's a pretty big leap of logic. He doesn't know what the guy looks like, really. Not in a Santa costume.
Yeah, but he's probably looking paranoid, and maybe it's dirty looking than what we can tell.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's that...
Stinky Santa.
Santa that keeps looking around him feverishly. So we'll turn our attention to the Justice League transporter tube atop of one of Gotham's highest structures. Normally the tubes are invisible until activated, like now. Sure is strange to leave one Gotham city, then reappear in almost an exact duplicate on another Earth. Another Earth? That's right, reader, for there are at least 2 Earths in the multiverse, existing on separate vibrational planes. Earth 1 heralds the Justice League as its champions, while Earth 2 is the home of the Justice Society. Things differ between the 2 Earths. For instance, this woman is the daughter of the deceased Bruce Wayne of Earth 2, and the awesome figure we reverentially call the Batman, she simply refers to as Uncle Bruce.
Oh, wow.
Hope he doesn't mind if I spend Christmas with him. I just couldn't take the holidays alone. But what can I get him for a present? What do you give the man who almost has everything?
Wow.
Yeah, so she's not actually from this version of Earth. She's just lonely.
And she's sideways family.
I like this backhand.
Yeah.
Bam, smacking Santa. Not so fast, Santa. That gun may work wonders against reindeer or elves, but against me you might as well use a bundle of switches.
Oh,
What a
right.
weird thing to say. Better gather up those files before the snow does any damage to them. My God, it can't be. This file says that Thomas Wayne, my father, loaned money to Sanders so Sanders could become a mob boss. My father bankrolling a gangster? I can't believe it. But what if it's true? Don't know what's got the Batman all hot and bothered, but he appears to have forgotten about me. Merry Christmas, Batman. You're last. Ow! Who in... I doubt that hot lead was anywhere near the top of his Christmas list, punk. So be glad I just used the butt end of my dagger, or your fellow inmates would be calling you Lefty.
That's
you,
a
Helena.
weird pose.
It's like, don't use her first name right in front of this criminal. I know that he's going to jail, but like, and she lives on another Earth. But what if? What if word gets out?
Well, and
Not
what
a
if
lot
he
else to
wanders
talk
into
about.
one of those invisible tubes?
I know. He's like, oh, good thing I came onto the highest building today. What the heck? I hadn't expected to see you here, but your entrance was right on time. I traced you by your JLA communicator, Uncle Bruce, but are you all right? You don't seem quite yourself. So he talks about this revelation. And she's saying, Uncle Bruce, too. It's like, what if he didn't pass out? He's just playing possum. And he's like, oh, wow. I never thought I'd figure out their secret identity so easily.
Oh, whoa, yeah. That's assuming a lot.
So meanwhile, at the penthouse atop the Wayne Foundation building, so when Cousin Dick told me how you and he solved a case on Earth 2, I realized how long it had been since I'd seen you, and I decided to remedy the situation. Thank you, Alfred. Your Christmas cookies are as good as my Alfred's, if you know what I mean. I believe I do, Miss Helena. Thank you. That must be weird to hear people compare you to your doppelganger on another Earth. Oh, thank you, I think.
Yeah.
So he's all disturbed at the revelations. And I want to say, this is a thing that's been used, I think, in the past. Didn't the newest Batman movie make, like, reference to maybe the Waynes weren't all the paragons of virtue they're supposed to be? Or maybe it was the Joker movie. I don't remember. But this is a theme they've explored.
Well,
I can't tell you how disturbing this is to me. I dedicated my life to avenging my parents' deaths. And now to find out that my father may have been a criminal, a gangster? It's like, well, it doesn't mean he should have been gunned down in the street, even if he did something bad. It's like, nope, I can't help people any longer. My dad did a crime once. But you're more than just an avenger. You're a detective. Use your abilities. Investigate.
right.
Uncover
She's got a
the
great
truth.
point.
Yeah, if he's such a great detective, you think he wouldn't forget that he's a great detective.
And he's taking big leaps without,
He's letting his emotions.
all the great detectives.
wild.
Yeah, all the great detectives sit there kind of quietly and they take in all the information, and then at the end they just lay it out. It's like they don't have these big emotional outbursts.
I know. Batman is kind of melodramatic sometimes. 2 days before Christmas. Just a moment, Mr. Wayne. I'll see if Mr. Randolph can receive visitors. Are you sure this is a home, Uncle Bruce? It looks more like a hospital. Amos Randolph is a very sick man, Helena. Frankly, I was a little surprised to find him still alive. Mr. Randolph may see you for 1/2 hour, Mr. Wayne. So they've come to visit this accountant. It's Thomas Wayne's accountant from when he was still investing in things like the mob, I guess. The darkness seems to cling to the walls like frost, to permeate the air like snow. Hello, is anyone there? Then in a voice like crackling parchment. Bruce! Bruce Wayne! Is it you?
My bones are glass and my skin is paper.
It is, Mr. Randolph. Merry Christmas, sir. And to you, my boy. But who's this with you? This is my cousin Helena. She's from out of town. Good to meet you, Helena. Kind of you to visit an old man. Dad, you take after Bruce's mother, you do. Thank you, Mr. Randolph. His hand's so cold.
Why does he have to be that old?
He's not that old. He's just ill. Sorry, I can't offer you young people a fire, but the smoke aggravates my emphysema. Quick with that sherry, Wally, and bring me a glass, too. You know I can't, Mr. Randolph. Doctor's orders, sir. So Bruce has brought him a portrait of the accountant and Bruce's parents, and him, and he says these were some of the happiest years of our lives. He's like, well, now that you mention them,
No.
I have these records from 25 years ago. Could you look over these accounting statements? It looks like there were monthly withdrawals of $10,000, but he never mentioned them to me. I wonder why. So the accountant's kind of playing dumb. He says it's disturbing, but he doesn't know anything about Spurs Sanders. Those dates correspond exactly with the dates Spurs Sanders claims to have received from Grandpa, Uncle Bruce's father. This is Helena thinking.
Okay, so she's thinking it's looking bad.
We get a brief break for Aquaman in Pirates Gold, the Twinkies' adventure. An undersea explosion shakes the continent of Atlantis. Great guppies! There's the cause, Aqualad, those servicemen planting explosives. You've got to stop. Your blast will shake Atlantis to pieces. Sorry, Aquaman. Our map says there's pirates' gold, sunken treasure down here. Nothing you say can stop us.
Oh,
What can we do, Aquaman? They want gold, and I know just what to give them. Shortly. Look, it's a treasure chest. And soon at sea level.
Oh.
Wow, this is a real treasure. I'll say Hostess Twinkie cakes. Who needs gold doubloons when we can have this delicious golden sponge cakes? Let's head back to land and search for more treasure. Twinkies cakes on our grocer's shelf. You get a big delight in every bite of Hostess Twinkie cakes.
Oh,
You can buy a lot of Twinkies with gold doubloons, I would think.
Yeah.
And soon. Thank you for your help, Mr. Randolph. Merry Christmas. And to you, my boy. Please stop by again. He can't be older than 60. What happened to him, Uncle Bruce? Some sort of nerve disease, Helena. It aged him before his time. Believe me, I know how he feels. You mustn't give up yet, Uncle Bruce. We still have one source to check.
One.
I know, Helena. Spurs Sanders himself. So we get introduced to this Western or Southern style gangster.
Oh, his boots are horrible.
Well, they're different. They don't have the big flappy part like most boots in this era of comics.
That's true, but
They're just cowboy boots.
But he tucks his pants.
Yeah. Spurs Sanders considers himself a simple man, and as such he enjoys the comforts of home, specifically the estate he calls the Double S. To protect those comforts, he employs many well-trained security guards, but not, it seems, well-trained enough. I want to know how Batman got under the snow to begin with. He's like, wait till they turn around, now I'm going to dig a little hole, and then you cover me up with it, and then when they least expect it, I'll pop out all soggy and bash their heads together. She's like, what if we just bash their heads together to begin with? Shut up. No. This isn't Earth 2. Hoods always overlook the obvious, Helena, like camouflage for an ambush. Promise me you'll remember that. I will. Good, then let's not waste any time.
Oh.
Promise me you'll remember it.
Oh.
So, no need to be tearing up my ranch. If you wanted a palaver, all you had to do was ask. You can cut that Western lingo, Spurs. I know you happen to have never been west of the Gotham River. I want information, Spurs, on your connection with Thomas Wayne. Don't know who the filly is, but she's a darn sight easier on the eyes than that kid in the shorts. And since you obviously got my records, you're calling the square dance. I'll play this for you, but remember, it ain't evidence. Legally, it'll answer your questions. It's a deal, Spurs. I'll invest my money in your battle for the Gotham mobs, and you make me rich. That voice, unmistakable, even after all these years. It's my father.
Ooh.
That's a really conveniently phrased, surveillance. Yes, I will do that crime with you. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, yeah.
I reckon you've heard enough, partner. I do like this panel, this reaction.
Yeah, that's nice.
His eyebrows flexing so strong it's coming through his cowl. What the hell? And it's just like with the Superman Clark Kent, like how they always seem embroiled in each other's affairs and nobody suspects it. Same, like, why would Batman just show up at a mobster's house and be like, tell me about Thomas Wayne, the guy that's been dead for a couple of decades, or
Right.
maybe not a couple of decades, but like he's been dead for a while, and for him to all of a sudden be so interested in one particular contributor to his criminal enterprise,
Right.
seems a little fishy.
But most of the bad guys are so embroiled in their own issues. You know, they just don't put two and two
He's
together.
putting too much effort into his Western theme. And I do mean, partner, you obviously don't want Wayne's connection with me made public, And I can oblige. Wayne's lily white rep stays clean if you give me those records. Don't do it, Batman. The only thing I'll do is leave Sanders before I do something you'll regret.
Oh, no.
I'll be waiting for your answer, Batman. Merry Christmas. Not long after. You'll excuse me, Helena. I'd like to be alone for a while. Wait, Uncle Bruce, don't. Too late. So she follows him, and this is where we get our cover page where, we often say that the cover never really gets portrayed in the body of the text. This is an exception where he's basically doing the same pose.
It's the exact same, yeah.
Being very careless with his secret identity. I guess, are they buried on the grounds of Wayne Manor? Maybe
Probably.
So he's got some privacy.
Probably.
So he rips the cowl right off. And she's remembering why holidays can be lonely for the huntress. Grief wells within her, and it is all she can do to keep it still, for she remembers how on her native world her father likewise dropped the dark mantle of the Batman when he held his dying wife, the huntress's mother, in his arms. So Catwoman and Batman in Earth 2 became man and wife and were her parents. But I don't know how Catwoman died in that plane of existence, but she did. Remembers that events may repeat themselves on the two worlds, and remembers that even the strongest of men on any world is but a man after all. Soon Playboy Bruce Wayne is again seen frequenting his favorite nighttime spots, but with the fire within quenched, the man is no longer the same, and the former master of the night has become simply another of its many victims.
Just like last week when Superman had the blues, Batman's got the blues.
I know. Well, they're both orphans.
Yeah.
Gee, Dad, this is going to be the best Christmas we ever had. And you deserve it, son, for putting up with me. There's my pigeon. He claims Batman took the files from him, but he's still a loose end. And Spurs says loose end's got to be tied up permanent. Dad, look out, Jimmy. So Huntress rescues that criminal they had beat up. He got out quickly. I guess nobody apprehended him. He just got his butt kicked. But he was about to be assassinated, and she helps. He's a criminal, but his son would have been shattered if he died, just as I was when my parents died. Uncle Bruce, are you all right? I saw you watching it. Again, in her costume, addressing him in public, in his civilian, calling him uncle. I'm the best I've been in days, Helena, because I've just realized that the Batman existed for more reasons than fighting crime. He exists to spare others the loss I felt when my parents died. A loss I felt even though they were also criminals. Exists, you mean? I mean, I've got to get to the bottom of this, Helena, and the best place to do that is Wayne Manor. It's different, Uncle Bruce, but it's still very much like my own Wayne Manor back home. Hush, Helena, I need to concentrate. Something about this case has been gnawing at my mind. Gee, thanks for the fire engine, Mr. Randolph. But how do you know I wanted one? Did Santa Claus tell you? Someone who loves you much more than Santa Claus, my boy. Someone who I love very much. Your mother and father. That's it! So his little flashback to getting this fire engine is going to be the key to exonerating his parents. What have you found, Uncle Bruce? I've just been recalling my last Christmas with my parents, Helena, and it's a good thing I did. Or this would have been the Batman's last Christmas as well. Can you say that you quit being Batman if you start wearing it under your clothes? It's like, look, I stopped doing it in public. I'm in my own home. I can wear it under my clothes if I want.
That's not really his uniform. Those are his pajamas.
Yeah, they're footy pajamas. Without another word, Bruce Wayne again takes up the dark mantle of dread detective. And though Helena Wayne rightly prides herself on being a mature, independent woman, she weeps openly and unashamed like a little girl. Come on, Hel. Time to get into your working clothes. Hey, what's the matter? I wasn't gone that long. No, you weren't. But for a while it looked like I had lost both of you forever. And minutes later, two caped figures launch themselves into the waning Christmas Eve. And though Helena Wayne's mind tells her they are alone, her heart knows better. And we have the Earth 2 Bruce Wayne, who's quite a bit older, I guess. He's got the Doctor Strange whitening on his temples. Scritch. My word, who? Don't worry, Mr. Randolph. I've only got a Christmas present for you, though I'll bet you won't like it much. What is the meaning of this? My present is the truth, Randolph. I know that Thomas Wayne never made a deal with Spurs Sanders. It was you disguised as Wayne. How could you know after all these years? Tap, tap, tap. He doesn't need to know what Bruce Wayne knows, that even disguised as Dad, he couldn't control his habit of nervous tapping. Just like you said, the true detective thinks about those little details and lets them come together in the end. Never mind how I know. I know that you sold out a man who trusted you, who loved you for your own greed. You used Wayne's money, which you controlled. You financed Sanders to build your own fortune. You can't prove it. You'll never put me in prison. Take a look at yourself, Randolph. You're already in prison. Knock, knock. Mr. Randolph, are you all right? Did you have an accident, sir? He's used to that call in the middle of the night. I've pooped and I can't get up. You're a liar, little lady. Believe what you like, cowboy, but I'm telling you that's not Thomas Wayne's voice on those tapes. Just a clever imitation, and electronic voice printing will prove it. That ain't evidence in court. No, but if enough people read it in the Gotham Gazette, they'll believe it. Your hold on Batman just melted away, Spurs, and he doesn't make deals with crooks. But the records, what did you do with them? Oh, let's just say I gave them to someone who's had it at the top of his Christmas list. Colonel Sanders. No, Commissioner Gordon, for a long, long time. Merry Christmas, jailbird.
Awesome.
They even put him in a nice little, polka dotted box.
Yeah, she's got little hearts over the eyes.
So that's it for Batman. We have this nice Merry Christmas from the DC staff. All these signatures unfurling from these cherubs.
Nice.
He's blowing his horn in Batman's ear. Soon the day dawns, and as they have for centuries, families celebrate Christmas with the giving of gifts and the giving of love. Thank you, Helena. You helped give me back my faith and my cause. I couldn't have asked for a better gift. Then let me stay with you, Uncle Bruce. Let me watch what you have to do. That'll be my gift. And I swear by your spirits to rededicate my life to warring on all criminals. Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad. Oh, It's the same thing you got us last year. The war on criminals. So we do have a B story, Nemesis. I think we might have saw Nemesis in a previous podcast. It's been a while. I think
so.
It's kind of like a noirish spy kind of thing.
Is he the guy who's a scientist, a spy,
I think
journalist?
He might be. Yeah. This is Nemesis, the scales of justice, held in perfect balance. They symbolize a fair and impartial judgment between men, but unbalanced truth and equality are mocked. One man risks his life to restore that balance, a man called Nemesis. So he's in the crosshairs of an assassin, the Fox, who is a French assassin, and he doesn't realize it. I like the facial characterization on some of these thugs.
Yeah.
They're really sinister looking.
Yeah.
I really like the motion lines right here.
Yeah, nice drawing.
He is suspicious, me, but nevertheless he has entered our trap. He has been elusive, this Nemesis, but even he could not hope to evade Grey Fox for long. N'est-ce pas? For now, he is in my sights, and oof! No, I can't let you kill him. Mr. King, look out. So they have a hostage who kind of headbutted the Fox and made him miss his rifle shot so Nemesis can hear the kazing and dodge. That was Barney's voice that called out a warning. The mechanic who takes care of my helicopter. He's the one who phoned me to come out here in the first place, and as I suspected, it was a trap. Imbecile! You have alerted him. Now our task would be twice as hard. Do you forget that my men hold your daughter prisoner below? One more such action and I will signal them to kill her. In the meantime, I must alert my other men to close in.
Oh, no.
That's a cool headlight or flashlight.
That's a neat...
It's like a tunnel.
That would be a cool poster.
So he exchanges some gunfire, and he assures us that though my toxin bullets only put them to sleep for a few hours, their bullets will put me out permanently. So the deck is already stacked against him because he uses little... I guess they still must penetrate your skin, but they release a toxin that puts you to sleep.
What if he hit somebody in the heart?
It'll kill him.
Yeah.
They're using real bullets. He's kind of a chump, I guess. He's not like the Punisher. He's like, I use these fake bullets.
Yeah.
So he goes into the hangar to hide out, and all of a sudden, this plane starts approaching the Fox and his men here. Very clever, Monsieur Nemesis. A valiant attempt to escape, but one destined to fail. Holy, the plane blew up! You must have hit the fuel line, Grey Fox. But of course, mon ami, that was my intention. Nemesis was a worthy opponent, but in the end, the victory could only go to Grey Fox. I like that drawing of him in the shadow of his lighter.
He's so overconfident.
Blackoom.
Blackoom.
You've heard kabloom. What about Blackoom?
That's not an explosion. It's an implosion.
Yeah. Or bruschetta. Bruschetta. But the Dark Herald of Justice might not agree with that assessment at the moment. That worked out even better than I expected. It was simple to rig the plane to taxi out on its own, and that gave me enough a distraction to slip over here unseen. A brief while later, good, they haven't left the roof of the hangar yet. Barney's still being held prisoner there, and I've got to try and rescue him.
I was wondering if he was going to let his mechanic down.
No, he Tarzans over to him. Here's where I go into my Tarzan act. He swoops down. That's one down. Now I'll make it two. But where's Grey Fox? I was sure he was behind this, but I don't see him anywhere. Barney, there was another guy, a boss. Wasn't he up here too? Yeah, Mr. King, but he went down a few minutes ago to check out the wrecked plane. I don't understand any of this, Mr. King, but they took my daughter hostage, forced me to phone you. Barney?
Oh, no.
Wait, that whirring sound above us. It's a helicopter. So the Grey Fox has gotten into his bruschetta helicopter and drops this guy, Barney's poor daughter, out of the helicopter. Maria, oh God, no! I like these swabs of red that are behind. They have the weird paintbrush kind of effect on the edge. Almost no chance that this will work, but I've got to try to save her. So he does the same thing. He swings on a rope and catches her. He swings so well that he avoids all of this gunfire.
And the rotors of the
I
helicopter.
guess it does clip him. He says, easy, honey, you're safe now. And I think Mr. King is still breathing.
Oh,
The council will be pleased that the one called Nemesis is dead, but I cannot afford witnesses, so the grenade will finish my task. No, you dirty! Kablam, kablam, bam! You won't get away with this, I won't let you. If I have to kill you myself. Barney Forrest is a mechanic, not a marksman, yet it seems that Providence is with him as one of his wild shots ricochets freakishly and... My hand! Manon, the grenade! I've dropped! Kabloom! Mr. King, you're alive. I mean, I was afraid. You and me both, Barney. Ugh, I may walk funny for a while, but I think I'll recover. I didn't really want him to die. I've never killed a man before. It was his own doing, Barney. Grey Fox thought he was so clever, but in the end, he only outfoxed himself.
who does he look like right there?
Who do you think? George Bush, kind of?
Yes!
That's what he was up to in this era. Or as King David said it, he made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own skull. So we end with a little biblical
Little lesson.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's our lesson from Nemesis, is if you're throwing grenades, don't be surprised when they blow upon you. That's what you're putting out there.
Oh.
Let's see our next criminal Santa Claus trope.
Is homicidal. Yeah, so
That's
we've
a great
got
cover.
yeah, it's a good cover. It's good. He's got the boots.
He's got the droopy boots.
Droopy boot Santa.
And this
I
is
guess
from
it's better
what,
than
19...
Droopy booty Santa.
Why not both? Where, let's see, 1990. Yeah, 1990. Okay.
So here we have Tony Stark, and he's been searching for the killer of his former lover, Whitney Frost. Yesterday, a random computer scan sent him, turned up a clue to the leader of the, is that Magia or Magia?
Let's go Magia.
Magia's
Magia?
whereabouts. I know, it's like, is that like the mob kind of, or the mob?
Yeah, maybe the mafia was
it's-
like, don't use
what's her
that word
names?
in your comic. We'll whack you.
And he wants, and he goes, today is Christmas Eve. And Tony Stark is exactly knows exactly what he wants for tomorrow's blessed holiday. The head of Madame Masque.
Not only is it a Christmas issue, graduation day.
Oh, yes.
You have to watch this on in graduation season. I like this pose, but when would it ever be useful to run at your enemy with your arms behind you and up?
Yeah.
You look like a weird Naruto running kid.
Yeah.
Like when kids try to run like an anime character in real life, and it looks ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Unless you were forcing yourself forward with his jets, but
Yeah, that would
still,
make his
that would,
repulsor in his hand.
yeah.
Bob Layton's story and art. So we've got and we got Tom DeFalco, Magia in Chief.
Maggie and Chief. So he busts in, where is she? And the goons they're like, how do you find us? And something tells me these fancy Scrooge guns.
Weird, yeah.
Isn't that odd? Scrooge
They're
guns.
Scrooge gun. You never heard of a Scrooge
Ain't
gun?
gonna stop them. I know, it's bizarre.
That's a cool splash page, but the crease kind of is an awkward.
It's in an awkward place. He could have been
Maybe if it
over
was
a little
over
bit.
a little bit more, yeah.
And look at these guys. You could tell it's the 90s.
Oh my God, those haircuts.
And the
Do they all go to the same
sunglasses.
evil barber?
This guy's flat top. Yeah. But he's taken out a lot of them. This guy is creepy back here.
Pinstripes.
So they're like, all right, release the Kraken. So seconds later, the sound of creaking treads alert the armored Avenger to, you have trespassed into Magia territory and face...
Immediate destruction, surrender or die.
Oh,
Reminds me
brother.
of the big robot from RoboCop.
Yes.
Like the new version of the law enforcement robot that turns crazy.
And Tony's like, oh, brother, give me a break. But while he's fighting this thing, which gives him no trouble whatsoever, you see it flying apart. It's just worthless junk to
I
Tony.
love that he makes his mask be able to flex its eyes. He's like, when I'm mad, I want him to go up. And his little frown.
And yeah. So he has just a bunch of worthless junk. But as he turns around, he realizes everybody's gone. It was just a distraction. So, but leaving this guy, and he's like, so tell me, where is she? And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to say anything because whatever you do to me isn't going to be as bad as what they're going to do to me if they find out.
You go to Hades, Tin Man. Take that.
Say, oh, pagan, huh?
Hey, we have a more contemporary Dungeons & Dragons ad. I don't think we've seen this one yet.
No.
Don't be deceived by the name. The only thing basic about Dungeons & Dragons set number 1 is how easy it makes it to begin your quest. You'll be armed with everything you need, including the Player's Guide for Beginning Characters, a 64-page volume loaded with simple as well as expert combat rules and role-playing tips, the Dungeon Master's Handbook, a cache of treasures, monsters, and dungeons, special dice, and a 3-part solo adventure so you can test your D&D game skills before you venture forth with friends. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Join over 2 million fighters, clerics, thieves, elves, magic users, halflings, dwarves, and dungeon masters on the fantasy adventure of a lifetime. If you can survive basic training, you'll be well prepared for all the other Dungeons & Dragons adventures that lie ahead.
Yeah.
It's kind of something
love
kind of
D&D.
sad about playing a solo adventure. You just go down to your basement by yourself.
You're the DM.
Critical miss. Oh, man. Not again.
DM's always trying to kill me. Yeah.
I love how much you
remember.
can see his teeth.
Yeah.
I
Through
would protect those, where somebody pokes you.
Well, you'd think that he would have lenses over his eyes too, but I don't know, a little windshield wipers.
Yeah.
So then we cut to another story. And you hear, my master, stop the cycle before I...
Oh, Taskmaster.
Yeah, just... What did he say? Flunked out, number 3. Students take note. You slip up in the Taskmaster school and you're dead meat.
I don't like Taskmaster school. I want to go home.
Now let's see what the problem was with his blaster. And he finds out that someone had tampered with it. And this guy here, Taskmaster, I acknowledge sabotaging number 3's weapon. I sought to move up in the standing by process of elimination. I await your judgment. And then he has his rules. But he's like, well done, number 1.
Oh,
Your new ranking is noted. All of you, soon will begin your final test. Each one of you stands a chance of becoming the new right hand of Justin Hammer's organization. The job will go to the best of the class, the one that survives. He's a nasty fella.
What kind of school is that? You get rewarded for killing your fellow pupils?
Yeah.
That's a cool fantasy.
I like this dragon until we get here.
You don't like the teeth? They're too curly?
It's a little ragtag.
Those ones seem a little impractical. How are you going to close your mouth?
Right, exactly.
I like the stylization of it, though.
But
It's a NES game?
Nintendo?
He'd lied?
I don't remember this one.
No, I don't think I ever played that one. It looks cool, though. I bet the gameplay doesn't look like that.
Yeah. And we cut back to Tony.
Oh, my God, that hair.
I know. Just wait,
He's
though.
sweating under there.
Just wait. And he goes, well, at least it wasn't a total bust. I'll have to see to it that my computer whiz, Abe Zimmer, gets a little bonus this week. I don't understand how Madame Mask stays one step ahead of me. She'll trip up sooner or later, and I'll be there waiting for her. Enough of old Shellhead for now. It's time to attend to the business of running Stark Enterprises. So in front of Stark Enterprises, they set up this big dome, and inside they have this ski slope set up for this big party that Tony is throwing. And we see Rhodey here with his severe
they
haircut.
gave him the flat top.
Severe haircut.
I didn't know that was Rhodey.
He goes, although the ski ramps are there for the professional show we hired, I know, Chief, I just couldn't resist a little showing off. I gotta hand it to you. You've really outdone yourself this Christmas.
Oh, so they're in California, but this is like a simulated environment, like a cold room.
Yeah. Look at that hair. That little curl down his forehead.
Oh, my.
And I want this year's charity children's party to be the best one we've ever thrown, Rhodey. Christmas is a time for kids, and no one deserves a good time more than the ones without families. Spoken like a true orphan, hey, Chief? Excuse me, Mr. Stark. And what can I do for you, Miss Pearson? I know you're very concerned with this charity event and all, but there are other matters much more important in need of your attention. When you are appointing me as you are second in command, I assumed that we'd be working together. Instead, you're merely delegated to me the task you can't be bothered with. So she's all complaining to the boss. And he goes,
There's one thing we can learn. Go easy on the orphans around Christmas. We all like to pick on orphans, but one day of the year, give them a break.
Cut the orphan a break, will you? He goes, your complaint is noticed, Miss Pearson, but it's up to me to decide how this company is run. So he's like, yeah, I hear you, but shut up. And he goes, Rhodey, lighten up, Marcy. It's Christmas Eve. Kindly butt out, Mr. Rhodes. Suddenly, the refrigerated dome becomes notably cooler.
Oh, gosh. Double Dragon, I remember that game. Beat 'em
Really?
up. Yeah, there were like two brothers that, I don't think they're brothers, they don't look very similar. But two
They're
friends
twins.
that fight in the streets. They know martial arts. They have bad haircuts. It's one of those games where you like do a couple punches and the guy falls down and he gets back up and you punch him and then he goes down and he blinks and he goes away.
Yep.
And sometimes there's a whole swarm of them. And then there's a boss guy, it's like a side scroller.
Yeah, I see.
No make-believe dragon here. This is the original, the ultimate Double Dragon, the top Nintendo Entertainment System game. And right now they're in big supply. Do whatever it takes to rescue Marion from the savage street gang of the mysterious Shadow Boss. Get fighting mad with the punch, headbutts, uppercuts, low kicks, hair pulls, and the dreaded over-his-shoulder throw. I remember because you could throw other characters. They'd go tumbling across the screen. So make sure you only insist on the ultimate Dragon Slayer, the ultimate Double Dragon from Trade West. Don't sit still for anything less.
Oh, boy.
That was a fun game.
Oh, boy.
I bet Brenna remembers that one.
Yeah. She probably beat you in it.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So we're back at the Taskmasters, and he's having them run through kind of like a danger room, X-Men kind of a
You think there's a company that just
final
they'll
exam.
make you danger rooms and
yeah.
different? Like, we work for the villains, the good guys. We're neutral here. We're just trying to make. We're just running a business.
Give
If
us
you want a
break.
dangerous room, we got it. We can also do gymnasiums.
So this guy's running through his sequence when the taskmaster, halt, computer, end combat sequence. Sequence terminated. Final score, 217 points, a new record. Very good, number 1. You're now ranked 2nd in the class. Unload your weapon before I dismiss the group. You know the rules. No loaded weapons in the dorms. Yes, taskmaster. You'll assemble here again.
They've been rewarded
He
for
was
breaking the
just-
rules anyway.
exactly.
So why not just do the opposite of everything he says?
Exactly. You'll assemble here again at 0600 hours and begin your final test. Tardiness will be punishable by forfeiture of your life.
That's what I tell my students.
Dismissed.
Forfeiture of life. It's weird that he has this weird pectoral window.
Ooh,
it's like
yeah.
Like how they
Ooh.
give women the cleavage window in their costumes.
Yeah.
It's like, give me one of those. Sir, that's more of a woman's. I like it. Okay. It's flattering.
Dismissed. Okay, a short time later in the compound's living quarters, don't be so bleeding smug, love. You've still got to get round me tomorrow, and that isn't likely.
She's an Aussie villain, I guess.
And whatever you say, love, I'm gonna get some shut-eye while I can. I suggest you do the same. Gore blimey, it's awfully dark in here. I thought I'd left a lamp on. I can't believe the cheek that number 1 has. I shan't let him get me hot under the collar after all I boom. And moments later, as Taskmaster inspects the carnage, a simple magnesium device concealed in the ceiling light fixture and another French fried student. Excellent.
It's weird when you can see his nose on his mask.
Ugh. Now that's all I see is his cleavage. Dang
It's
it.
weird when this seemed like a common thing. The little button, cowl button kind of thing. I feel like
Holding
you see
his
that
cape
on Doctor Doom. Has
Yeah.
the little buttons.
Well, even in his language, they're kind of giving him a Doctor Doom vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to hours later at
Those shoulder pads with the fringe.
Oh,
That's a
well.
weird look.
at the Rodeo Drive salon of Tony Stark's latest flame, Ray Lacoste. I know.
Do's and don'ts. That's a
He's-
good haircut store.
She goes, hold still, darling. I need to check it out while it's still wet. It's looking a bit limp to me, Ray. Nonsense. Your perm is staying nicely. Look at his hair.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
you want to tell me what's bugging you, Tony? You could tell, huh? It's this Madam Mask thing. Ironman was so close to bringing her to justice, and she slipped away. Again, I'll never rest until Whitney's murder is punished. And so
What's
they
going on with
talk
his
about it.
eyes
I
there?
know. I
Like
think
he
it's
got his spray tan, but you can see his pale eyelids.
well, you have to wear those little glasses and those little eye.
Yeah.
So Christmas morning. Good morning, class. The survivors of this exercise will gain one of the most important positions a criminal could
Hope to attain.
hope to attain.
I like that they make him do like your and ta.
Yeah.
Yeah, ta instead of two and your instead of your.
For
He's
the
kind
others?
of a streetwise skeleton themed.
You're going to wind up as fertilizer, of course. The object of the exercise is simple. Kill your opponent. But first, you got to find him. And with these blinders on, it might not be easy going. You may not tamper with your blinders. You may not venture outside of the arena. You can't have any weapons other than your own hand-to-hand skills. But again, they've broken the rule. Number one has broken the rules over and over. So they start moving. And this is hilarious because
They're
you
just
can kinda-
flailing around.
Yeah, just silently because any noise is going to give
Oh,
away
yeah.
their position. So
It would be
carefully.
amusing to watch. That would be a good sport to televise. Just
Ooh,
have
that-
blindfolded combatants.
Not to the death, maybe. Until
maybe
he taps on one. He grabs them. But then he
Uh-oh.
makes some noise. He's like, nothing personal, old boy, but crack.
Ooh.
And then the other guy hears and jumps on his back. And he maneuvers himself. Number one, elbows
Gets the
him in the
elbow in
jaw.
there.
And don't count me out just yet.
That's a pointy elbow he's got.
Ugh. And I just want you to know how grateful I am for the opportunity you've given me. Gag, no joke. Thanks a lot, big guy. Crack.
Ooh.
And congratulations, number one. You're officially declared the winner. Thank you, Taskmaster. Master. It's hard to say Taskmaster.
Yeah,
You want
it's
to
a
say
tongue
Taskmaster. But, and now, come inside to my private quarters. Your prize is waiting for you there. It's like, is it? Is it though? Once inside, behind that door lies your equipment and battle suit. Don them quickly. Get your buns back out here.
Your buns?
Mr. Hammer should be pleased with this one. He's one of the best I've ever trained, totally without mercy or remorse. My kind of guy.
It's weird they built like eyebrows and a snout in his mask.
And I like the kind
It's
of
almost
dome.
like Bullseye's logo
Bullseye.
fell down.
And he did his little knife across his chest.
Yeah.
He goes, but before I send you to Mr. Hammer, you're going to have to complete a little field test. Whatever it is, I'm ready, sir. Good. Stark Enterprises is holding its annual Christmas charity bash. You got to get past their security and bring me back a certain item.
He's the spy master. He's the taskmaster. They couldn't get more creative than that.
I know it.
He looks like an X-Man with that color scheme.
And so he has to return this item as proof. So he goes, ho, 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 Santa's so glad to see you, boys and girls. I want to do the ski ramp, Mrs. Awfulgas. That's Arbogast, you little darling. Well, Rhodey, it looks like we're a big hit. Everything is going beautifully. Speaking of beautiful, do you remember Darlene, don't you? It's a wonderful party, Mr. Stark. Thanks for allowing me to come. And so he introduces Rhodey's new girlfriend. And then we have, you know who over here saying, well, that tears it. Marcy, Jim's with someone else. You've got no one but yourself to blame. So she's been putting this cold vibes out, you know, this power trip. And it's just, she secretly has a crush on Rhodey.
She's like, Rhodey doesn't like me. I've been very rude to him.
I don't know why it's not going over.
Oh, Santa's mad.
Santa's P.O.
Santa, your gun's falling out.
Meanwhile, Santa, I want a Nintendo Power Glove and Holiday Barbie, a Zsa Zsa Gabor action doll.
Like all the kids want.
Kids, calm down. Santa will be happy to listen to what each one of you wants. But first, Santa has to get what he came for. But Santa, I want to... Hey, Joey, check it out. Santa's packing a gun. Hey, no kidding. Tammy, Santa's got a blaster.
Ooh, we got a boy with a rat tail. That was very of this time, too.
Yes, it was. I want to see this. Listen, Chris, old pal, you better put that thing away. You don't want to scare the kids, do you? Blast it. So much for the clandestine approach. Back off or I'll waste them one at a time until you do.
Oh, God.
And Rhodey's like, Chief, go. I'll try and hold the fort until you can bring the cavalry. Just keep your cool. Don't let things get out of hand, Jim.
Creepy to see Santa pull his own skin off.
Yes. I see no need to keep up with this undignified disguise. It's best you know exactly whom you're facing. That's weird to use whom there.
He's proper.
Is he?
He didn't go to just the Taskmaster school. He went to grammar school. It looks like he's about to reveal skin, underskin.
Under his...
You can see his eyelid. But no, it's a full face mask with whited out eyes.
Yeah.
So he's wearing a skin suit over this suit and a Santa suit over the skin suit. The hell?
That's, yeah. You're a spy master.
Santa's skin is baggy.
Santa, you better put that away. Spy Master, it can't be. I saw you bite it. I got better. Now lower your weapons and step back. Holy! Luckily, my scanners allowed me to pinpoint your position from the sub-basement level. That way I could zap you from behind and let your body shield the kid. Now what's with the phony Spy Master getup? It's all quite genuine, Iron Man. I assure you. He goes, I call it an aerial destabilizer. So he puts this device on Iron Man to where it destabilizes him in the air. So he's busy with that.
I like this weird version
That's
of
a
Wolverine.
crazy version of Wolverine.
Somebody brought the tinsel out or whatever, set him off in the last one. What do you call that? The mistletoe.
The mistletoe, yeah.
He's freaking out. He's having flashbacks about it.
He looks like a
Wait a minute.
werewolf.
February '89. This is dated 1990. I guess the release date differs from the copyright date, probably.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, comic book convention in New York. The Giant Famous.
Must have been. It's so weird to, if you ever bought comics, like back issues this style, to switch to the modern internet way of buying comics.
Oh, yeah.
You have to pour over these listings. Okay, they've got Batman 430 for $6. That's pretty good. Gonna write that down.
So, Tony gets his suit gets out of control. He's just whooshing all over the place. As you can observe, it's a aptly named mechanism. While the Golden Boy is occupied, I'd best get what I came for.
He's skiing.
And make a hasty exit. Hey, spy guy, don't forget to take my Christmas present with you. So he shoots, and neatly wrapped up in copper jackets. And just then, Tony gets the device off him, and I'm gonna bury that sucker.
He's pissed.
And so Rhodey's got him down. He's like, stay back. I'm gonna see if he's really down for the count. And then, boom, he's got really small feet. A fuck. And he kicks Rhodey. And Tony runs up. Rhodey, are you okay? He's like, everyone, get back. I'm ready for you, Avenger.
He's got
These power chucks.
electrified nunchucks.
Yeah, these power chucks will turn your head into tinfoil wrapped jelly. This is no place to do battle, Spy Master. The children, you're endangering them. So help me, if one of them comes to harm, no power on earth will save you from my wrath. Well, you've certainly set me straight, haven't you? But you know what?
Ooh.
Chuck. Sincerely, don't give a rat's behind. He's a nasty piece of work. I'm just considering the bonus I'm going to receive for polishing you off, Tin Man. Tony gets thrown back into the ski ramp. Children, get back! The ski ramp, it's going to collapse. The kids will be buried alive. So as it comes down, the kids are all running. This cop is on the ball. He's getting the kids out of the way.
That board is about to kill him, though.
Well, and just as the last child, last child has cleared the area, a hush falls over the interior dome as the debris settles. Then, but Mrs. Awfulgas, is he dead? Don't worry, Jamal. I think it would take more than that to stop the invincible Iron Man. That tears it. You ready for some more iron britches? You bloody maniac, you almost killed that group off of kids. If you want to fight, let's take it elsewhere. I'm not interested in killing you. Then what do you want? Only what I was charged with retrieving. The golden angel ornament atop your tree. What? I won't pretend to understand why you've endangered these children's lives for a worthless plastic ornament. Let's just say it's my diploma, Tin Man. Just take it and get out. So he gives them the plastic angel, and he leaves. He goes, I don't understand why you just gave him the angel. Because it's Christmas, sweetheart, It's not about violence or greed. It's about peace on earth and goodwill, even to a psycho like him.
And then he flies into space.
And that's it.
Bye! I'm in space. Next issue, the long-awaited return of John Romita Jr. as the regular penciler. Oh, that's the artist of the X-Men Thanksgiving issue we did.
Nice. And he's back just in time
to present you the prologue to Armor Wars 2.
Oh.
It must be the Justin Hammer plot where he's making...
I don't like Brown Hulk.
Armor. Yeah, his forehead is a little puffy. He's looking a little weird.
It's scary.
I like the Gray Hulk, though. It's a cool look. Adventure in Motocross Maniacs. The Castlevania adventure.
Castlevania would be fun.
Those games are hard.
And the screens are so small.
Yeah. And Sky Shark. Strapping for full throttle action. Sky Shark for your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Did you see any of the Sharknado movies?
I don't think so. I need to get on board with that.
They are
How
surprisingly
many are there?
a lot of them.
Really?
I think there are like 3 maybe.
They seem like they'd be pretty fun to watch, like Birdemic or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, if you enjoyed this Christmas Spectacular, the part 2, please like and comment and subscribe. We appreciate you watching, and have a Merry Christmas.